Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserredux. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and it has been a very long time since I actually sat down at my desk and played some good old TNO. Well, not TNO, HoI 4. TNO still fried my brain, I'm sorry. Last time we did Kaiserredux, which on your guys' end uploaded a few days ago, but I recorded it a few months ago because I was about to head to Ireland. So I played Ireland. And we ended up restoring the British monarchy, but not the Tudors. Oh, it wasn't the Tudors, not the Windsors. Sorry. We restored the Stuarts and the Irish lord there. And that was a good amount of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And now here we are. Kaiserredux. It had an update while I was gone. I think I was even commenting that I wanted to see a certain path that was kind of teased out but wasn't added yet. And now that it's been added to Kaiserredux, I'm not going to say it's my most anticipated update or the content that I was most itching to play while I was away doing school, but the fact that it came was actually pretty cool to me, and so I'm very happy to be hopping in to Afghanistan today. Welcome back, Buttercup. And yeah, today we're going to be playing as the Kingdom of Afghanistan. While Afghanistan has labored as a victor of the Weltkrieg, she has not enjoyed the fruits of her labor completely. While concessions were granted by the British with the Second Treaty of Rawalpindi, all is not well in the graveyard of empires. Beset on all sides by reactionaries, radicals, and the family alike, Emir Habibullah balances on a tightrope, for no one is truly content in the nation. The Niedermeyer-Hentig expedition, a German attaché that was meant to return to Berlin in 1919, has remained in the nation to this day, and many label the Emir as nothing but a German puppet, with vultures and jackals vying for rule in the unstable nation. Habibullah knows that there is only one route forward to possibly preserve his rule: war. And we'll have to see. Well, thank you for joining us, Kalinka. You sleep well, friend. Nice to see you. By the way, if you're wondering who I'm talking to right now, it's not just the voices in my head. I'm talking to some of them too, but I'm live on twitch.tv right now, and I usually stream these before they're uploaded to YouTube. So if you want to ever be a part of the conversation and hop in live, go ahead and check that out. But for now, we're going to hop into Afghanistan. Looks like we got a good amount of shit going. But we're looking quite thick at the start of it all. But will this last? Maybe. I don't know. Regular difficulty. I do need to hop into something real quick. I need to set a option. Would be considered Europe? Well, some people consider the Ottomans Europe, but Eastern Europe, famous Eastern European country of the Ottoman Empire. No, Balkans. Okay. Deal with the devil. Yeah. Ottoman foreign policy. Is there anything that will just dictate that it will fall apart? It does not immediately look like it. So I might just have to manually set that the Ottomans to die when the time comes. But well, you might be able to figure out what I want to do just based off that. But if you can't figure it out yet, I'll leave you in suspense, at least for a bit. But let's go ahead and get the timer going. I hope you all are doing well, by the way. This might be going up the first day of a new year, so I might have an announcement video or something going up around, right before this goes up. But, yeah, I missed you guys. I really did. And I'm glad we're making content again. Well, I'm glad we're making content, and as soon as the game loads and I can start making that content, I will be a very happy camper. I tell you what. I tell you what. Anyway, trying to think if well, what is there to talk about? Oh, okay, here we are. Kaiserredux version, Hetman, and the Highwaymen. Everything's made as realistic as possible. Very, very funny joke, Kaiserredux team. In-game paths, thank you a lot. Also, let's go ahead and we gotta start doing some stuff. We'll build a Civi factory in Kandahar. And then do some basic research. Work on support weapons. I don't think we'll get the new guns out quite in time, though we probably should try to. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look. Actually, let's go ahead and get you guys all sorted first. Get a field marshal going, Nasrullah Khan, and then a general, and a German fella. We got a couple German fellas actually, and oh my god, these infantry units are fucking insane. My god. But for now, we'll go with Mohammed Daoud Khan. This is all the border we need to watch, luckily. So I think we're okay here as is. I'm going in this completely blind with no idea of what the strategy to do. I'm hoping I can just navigate it easily enough, but that might be a bit too much wishful thinking. Let's take a look at what we got. We start off as an absolute monarchy. Which are regimes where a nation's monarch holds complete autocratic authority. In such a system, the monarch is not constricted by parliamentary democracy or a nation's laws and government, and takes an active, if not commanding, role in leading the nation, instead of being relegated to the position of figureheads, like in most parliamentary systems. Absolute monarchs are not common as they were once in the West, with most monarchs becoming figureheads in recent times, though the sovereign is lacking full control. Taking full control back is not entirely unheard of. Led by this guy, Habibullah Khan, the Victorious, which gives us some okay bonuses, nothing too crazy, at least for our purposes, although the recovery rate is actually going to be kind of nice. Habibullah's reign has thus far been marked by reforms and attempts to modernize his country by working to bring modern medicine and other technology to Afghanistan. Born in 1871 in Uzbekistan, he would rise to power in 1901 upon the death of his father, the previous emir. Habibullah's early reign was one of reform, as he quickly issued a general amnesty to his father's many enemies, allowing them to return to the country. He also began important new technology and further modern science within Afghanistan. He's also a social reformer, repealing many draconian criminal punishments, while making the legal system fairer in general. One of his principal reforms was dismantling his father's internal intelligence system that oppressed huge swaths of the country. In 1903, Habibullah founded the Habibia School, as well as the military academy. When the Weltkrieg broke out, Habibullah took great pains to keep his nation neutral in the war, despite the assistance of the Sultan in Istanbul and the Kaiser in Berlin, his proximity to India, and the British made any intervention seemingly doomed to fail. This all changed with the defeat of the British in Europe and the ensuing revolutions that ripped through the empire, however. As chaos gripped the Raj and the British rule faltered, Habibullah was initially hesitant to do anything. This meant little to his generals, who quickly crossed the Durand line and seized the border towns of the Raj. Habibullah, unable to reverse this without appearing fatally weak, was forced to go along with his fait accompli. This bolstered his popularity at home, since the Raj, still battling for its own survival, was unable to resist. 20 years after his victory, Habibullah has had to watch his grand dream of a powerful Afghanistan begin to wither. In the hinterlands, rebellion has once again reared its ugly head, while members of its own family eye the crown hungrily. If Afghanistan is to be truly stable, Habibullah knows he must do something. So, a bit of a interesting situation. We have a lot of focuses here. Tribal disunity, just shit all around. Does not do very much for us. Though we have enough manpower, that's not killing me too badly, but still. The typical power is not nice at all. We also have an outdated tribal military, which gives us some bonuses, but everything else is shit. It's no secret that our relative isolation from the rest of the world has resulted in us lagging greatly behind the other regional world powers in the realm of military technology. While Afghanistan has had a martial tradition for millennia, modern war has no need for the valor of men. Instead, war demands brain and metal more than blood. Most of our standing armies reliant on levies from the various tribes under our rule, and almost all of them are severely lacking in equipment, with many preferring the ancestral Giselle flintlock than a standard issue rifle. This stagnation means that our armies are often under-equipped and will likely crumble in the face of a modernized adversary. Oh no, that's not going to be good. We also have bandit insurgencies, which hurts even more and gives us national populist support. The upstart Habibullah Klanaki has eyed Kabul extensively with hungry eyes. A shoddy coalition of Islamic radicals, disgruntled tribes, and other government dissidents, the men under Klanaki would like to see Afghani policy shift radically. At the moment, they are forced to hide in the mountains of our country and employ hit-and-run tactics to slow us down. We also have a graveyard of empires, which is going to help us out at least a little bit in our first major war. Many have tried to take our little piece of land and subjugate our people, and most have failed. Afghanistan is one of the most unconquerable places in the world, and our people are not easy to sway either. While our enemies may make initial gains against us, it's only a matter of time before they get themselves lost in a labyrinth of mountains at our employ. May we never kneel to foreign dogs. We have growing tensions. It's just not nice at all either. The Niedermeyer Hentig expedition has been both a blessing and a curse. Their expertise and support saw our victory in independence achieved in the Third Anglo-Afghan War. However, the instability brought by German influence and lobbying and the Indian provisional government's radicalism has begun to reach a crisis point. With every day that passes, support for the young Afghans in a war to destroy the British Raj grows. With every day that passes, whispers of treason against the Emir become more and more common. They say that the Emir has grown fat, lazy, complacent. They say that he's no longer even Muslim. That he plans to subvert Islam and destroy Afghan traditions. They say he's nothing more than a German puppet. Even if our army is in shambles, we have no choice. We must go to war with the British Raj, lest that house of cards comes crashing down. To make things worse, we have rampant corruption. The courts of our Emir do not contain the best nor the brightest. Instead, they contain yes-men, cowards, and leeches who would rather line their pockets than help the Afghani people. Bribery and corruption are widespread throughout our nation, from ministries all the way down to law enforcement, where police officers are in the pockets of bandit leaders and other shady men. Inefficient and incompetent bureaucracies ripe throughout all ministries, and no meaningful change can be accomplished if the brightest and most honest Afghanis have no place in our government. Next, we have the Hijrat movement. The Hijrat movement began as a result of aggressive British policies in the subcontinent. Disputes among Muslims living in the British Raj have swirled for generations and culminated when large groups of Muslim Indians refused to fight the Ottoman Empire, resisting British mandates. With the British restoring to mass arrests and displacements, many Muslims sought refuge in Kabul, to which the Emir has generously granted. For nearly 20 years, we've become a safe haven for the followers of Allah in the Indian subcontinent. But our administration is severely weakened due to the constant influx of immigrants, which are much of the populace displaced. Well, we get extra manpower and crew population, so that'll help us out for a good bit. Next, we have the Niedermeyer Hentig expedition, which is just nice all around. The NHE, also known as the Kabul Mission, was a mission to Afghanistan sent by Germany long ago in the Weltkrieg. Sent as a diplomatic and military attaché, this objective was to garner Afghani support for the Central Powers. With the Emir seeing the blood in the water, Afghanistan joined Germany in the Ottoman Empire to shatter Entente influence in the Levant, Arabian Peninsula, and Indian subcontinent. The war had been won 20 years ago, yet the expedition stays. Many question the continued stationing of the Germans in our land, but the support of the finest army in the world is helping bring our mishmash army up to the world standards. That's good, at least. And We can't do much of anything right now, can we? Huh, yeah. I don't know exactly which part we'll be doing. Is it gonna be this one? I think it's... We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Okay. Anyway. We will go ahead and just get on with it. Finally unpausing after how long in the video? Do we have any decisions? Nothing unique to us, at least. Much has changed for the Emir of Afghanistan since the turn of the century. Habibullah Khan's reign initially endeavored to push his reformative agenda into practice despite resistance from the nation's many entrenched conservative sources of influence. Despite this, Afghanistan has seen some progress, with its legal, economic, and educational systems all receiving minorly beneficial reforms. But above all, no institution within our emirate has flourished like our military has, with Habibullah passing a slew of new laws to improve the Afghan army. This military prowess was built up as the earliest years of a new century dragged on until the Weltkrieg broke out in 1914. As the horrific Weltkrieg dragged on, Afghanistan was put under increasing pressure from both the Kaiserredux and the Ottoman Empire to join the conflict on their behalf. Initially, Habibullah resisted these calls for war, instead turning inward as he focused on ruling his own kingdom, sealed away from the wider world. However, this peace would be shattered in 1917 when a band of tribes rallied by Nasrullah Khan and Ghazi Amanullah Khan disobeyed all previous orders and took a secretive gamble to push into British India without informing their emir. Without support from the wider armed forces, Amanullah's forces were disastrously beaten and forced back into Afghani territory, dragging the nation to the Weltkrieg and sparking a third war between us and the Anglos. 2 years prior, the Kaiserredux established the Niedermeyer Hentig expedition, a military attaché, and a training, supplying and otherwise aiding the Afghani forces for a surprise attack against the Anglo-Indian forces. Eventually, the cacophony of the Weltkrieg grew silent, and Afghanistan stood on the side of the victors. As a decade since that horrific conflict had worn on, Habibullah's rule has only drifted further from his original ideals as he grows lazier and more opulent of age. It's now 1936, and the German mission is still here. Habibullah still lounges on his throne, and our armament is unstable as ever. The constant meddling of the Kaiser Expeditionary Force has only driven up unrest, regardless of the military benefits it has provided. And this chaotic situation has only been stoked by the rising radicalism being proliferated within the Provisional Government of India, which we have grown so generously harbored. Young Afghans, a local nationalist movement, grow increasingly vocal over the displeasure with Habibullah's rule, and the emir's two main rivals of Amanullah and Nasrullah are at each other's throats, each vying for their seat on Habibullah's throne. The aging emir is growing desperate to keep his seat of power intact, and some whisper that he's even willing to start another war to do it. The nation of Afghanistan is once again on the edge of great change or utter collapse, and only Allah knows which way it will fall. Tell me about Muhammad Nadir Khan, the wild card of this country. Muhammad Nadir Khan, leader of the Musa Hiban branch, was born on Dehradun, British India in 1883. Due to the Iron Emir, Habibullah's father, realizing that the branch family would never cease trying to seize the throne, he exiled them to India and told his heir to never allow the Al-Yahya family into the country again, or his dynasty would face consequences. After ascending to the throne, Emir Habibullah paid an official visit to India, where he fell in love with Nadir's sisters. Nadir, realizing an opportunity had opened for him, took advantage of the emir's philandry and had his sister married to the emir. It was quick work to convince the king to let their family return to Afghanistan. The things women will do to a motherfucker. I'm just saying. Returning to Afghanistan, Nadir immediately started to make contact with previous friends of the branch family, and using these contacts became a general and led the Afghan army in the Third Anglo-Afghan War. After distinguishing himself during the war, he was made Minister of War and set out to reform the army, a task which was made easier by the involvement of a German military attaché. Currently, Prince Nadir, along with his son Zahir, are not in Afghanistan as the old prince is currently recovering from surgery in Europe. Now, as the country stands at the precipice of war, Nadir Khan is making plans for his return, plotting to stabilize the nation and take the throne for himself. Rumors have reached the ears of the Emir that there have been shady dealings between the British and Nadir Khan about a possible coup, but the Emir has turned a deaf ear to these concerns, saying his brother-in-law would never harm him, for he is like his own brother. Whatever his intentions, Nadir Khan has the influence and the men behind him to become a big name in the inevitable power struggle in Kabul. Okay. Sounds a little dicey, potentially. We could train divisions, but we don't quite have anything to do that with. Yeah, we are very undersupplied. Oh, Jesus, we're still... Kerensky dead? What? Hold on. What is the difference between this? I wonder. This is all way worse, so I'm gonna... I'll at least balance it out. I don't know the implications necessarily of cutting it outright, so I'll just balance it out for now. Hello there! Yet another tank enjoyer. How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome to stream. Amunullah Khan, son of Habibullah, arrived in Istanbul today. When Amanullah landed in Istanbul, he was immediately taken aback by its glory and grandeur. The Queen of Cities easily lives up to her name. He is greeted by a government delegation with a smart and clean honor guard. In his first taking around the city for a few hours, the Sultan is said to be asleep. He eats the best food he has had in some time, visited numerous historical sites, answered questions asked by throngs of foreign reporters, and finally has his midday prayers in the Hagia Sophia. When he is done, he is taken to the Sultan, and the two hit it off well. The Sultan asked about the war and how Afghanistan is doing, while Amanullah asked about how the Sublime Porte fares in turn. The Sultan pledged to support the Afghan cause by any means necessary, and in turn humbly requests support. Many of the royal court, the Caliph included, believe war may be coming to Iran's sphere of influence. The Emir's son pledged to support the Caliph in any way he could. Amanullah then watched the palace guard execute parade maneuvers in the courtyard, appeared thoroughly impressed. Such discipline, such fervor. He was sent off by the Sultan himself, and as Amanullah sits down and is plain, all consider the visit between the two as a great success. Hopefully the friendship between our two great nations ever dies. The sick man doesn't seem so sick to me. Well, we will see how well he ends up being, won't we? We are going to go ahead and end things there, my friends. But thank you for joining me for this first part of my YouTube series. To all the people watching it back home on YouTube, thank you for watching. Like, if you like, if not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, I have uploads going up weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. So check those out. I just have claims on this. Interesting. Okay. I should check this out off when I'm not recording and doing the outro. Excuse me. But yeah, hit the sub button for uploads weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. Hit the notification bell if you really want to keep up to date. Like or dislike this video, depending on if you feel it. Leaving comments down in the comment section below. I read all the comments again. Appreciate any feedback you might have for me. I have various links down in the description box below, including Twitch, Discord, Patreon, all that fun stuff. If you want to check that out, please do. That is it for now, my friends. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye now.